Shalom. What's your name again, sir? Michael. Nice to meet you, Michael. So, do you believe that you're an Israelite? Okay, so now, believing that you're an Israelite, all you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, listen up. You're not equal in this country. You are a denizen. You're not a citizen. You're an Israelite, and you belong to a tribe. Look at all the atrocities our people go through. Look at how the system systematically is set up against you. We your brothers, and we out here every week teaching you the same things, and y'all despise us. You ignore the words that we speak. We out here crying out to you, bringing you information that they not going to teach you in college, that they not going to teach you in school, or tell you that the black Christian pastor or the Catholicism pastor is not going to tell you. We're trying to help you, and you despise the words that we bring out to you. That's a destroyed nation. Read what you got.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 10. Come on. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate.
That word rebuke means to correct. Hey, there's a saying in the street, if you knew better, you do better. So since we know better, instead of being selfish and keeping the information to ourselves, we come out here for our people. We look at all these other nations riding by, looking at us like we crazy. They feel comfortable in our neighborhoods doing whatever they want to do. Why is all the halfway homes and all the homes where the mentally ill get released into, why are they all in our neighborhoods? Why are all the rehab centers in our neighborhoods? Why are all the abortion clinics in our neighborhoods?
Bring it out.
Read what you got.
They hate him that rebuke in the gate. Come on. And they abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
So the scripture says y'all hate us. Y'all hate us because we are correcting you and we're speaking uprightly, meaning telling you the right things to do. And you don't want to listen. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear nothing we're saying. Give me that. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12 real quick. Because guess what? All of you so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, you cannot just do what you want to do. You understand that, Mike?
Yeah.
You understand that you can't just do what you want to do?
Right.
Everything that they've told us that we can do, guess what? It is to keep us in the midst of sin.
Right.
Do you understand what sin is, Mike? Hold that. Let's get sin real quick. We're going to tell you what sin is. That way you understand what is wrong, because I can tell you you're bad. People can say you're a bad person. Well, what is bad? That becomes opinionated, right? But we got to do what the Most High God says. So God is going to tell us what's bad, what sin is. Read what you got.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
So, sin is the breaking of God's commandments. That's what's bad. That's what's bad on the earth, Mike. Sin is bad. So now, what is sin for? Sin is we shouldn't be doing that as Israelites. There's a requirement. Let's go right there. Yep.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So God is asking you, what does he require of you? Come on.
But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
So he sums it up. How you love God with all your heart and with all your soul, and how you do all of that, this is how.
To keep the commandment of the Lord.
So God said, once you know you're an Israelite, you got to keep the commandments of the Lord. So what happened? Let me tell you what happened. We broke God's commandments, and we willfully still do so today.
Right.
We don't want to change. Matter of fact, let me give me Deuteronomy. Give me Deuteronomy 32. They sacrifice unto devils.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 17. They sacrifice unto devils, not to God. To gods whom they knew not. To new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not.
So God said we sacrifice unto devils, to new gods who came newly up. That's us. That's future tense. He was telling us what we was going to do. Why? Because he gave us a commandment not to. He said, gods that your fathers did not know, we never worship these gods that got us worshiping today. In fact, Moses told, give me Leviticus 18:3 or 18:5, I think, 18:3, because he's gonna talk about what not to do. When we came into the land, when Moses freed us, he said, look, what you did in Egypt and what these people doing in this land, do not do it. Read.
Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 3. Come on. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye not do.
You hear that? Y'all hear that across the street? Y'all was listening. Don't get distracted. Y'all was listening. Read it again.
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye not do.
So God said what we learned when we was in Egypt, we shouldn't do.
That's
so
right.
Let's stop right there. What was going on in Egypt? Do any of y'all know any history about Egypt?
Wake up!
Look on the back of your dollar bill. Look on the back of your dollar bill. This place is spiritually Egypt. A lot of the customs that America participates and got you participating in comes from ancient Egypt. It comes directly out of ancient Egypt, like balding your face, balding your head, homosexuality.
Bring it out.
These are things that was going on in the land of Egypt.
Right.
Child sacrifice. These things was happening. God said, don't do that thing. Read on.
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
Read.
And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do.
So God said, don't do what you was doing in Egypt, and then where I'm about to take you, don't do what they doing. Them people that I'm going to have you drive out, don't do what they doing. But you know what we did? We did it anyway. Just the same way we do today. What's tomorrow? Halloween, right? Right? What does Halloween mean, Mike? Do you know what the word hollow means? Hollow means holy.
Right.
Or separate, different. You know what I mean? So, what does wean mean? You know what the word wean means? Anybody over there? Do y'all know what wean means? That word wean means Eve. So now you're talking about Halloween is Holy Eve. Eve of what? What Eve? What do you say? What are you celebrating? But you know what we say? Oh, it's for the children. It's for fun. Guess what? You have no clue how much is for the children and how much fun, whose fun it is. Let's go, chapter 26.
In the book of Leviticus, chapter 18 and verse 26. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you.
So we had to keep the commandments. That's what God told us to do. He told us, do not do what the other nations was doing.
Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 9. When thou art coming to the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abomination of those nations.
So God said when he took us into that land, we wasn't supposed to learn what the other nations was doing. So if you know history, who was there? It was the so-called Hamites, the Hamitic nations. That's who was there. God told us don't learn to do what they do, but guess what? That's what we do. How you doing, sir? Are you celebrating Halloween tomorrow? Huh? Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. None of y'all. None of our people should be celebrating Halloween. That is an unlawful custom. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divinations, or an observer of times, or enchanter, or witch.
So God said don't do these things, but we didn't say Halloween is okay to celebrate. It's not a big deal. You know why God said don't do these things? Listen to this. Read that first part again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18 and verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
You know what that means, to pass through the fire? What our people was doing way back then, the Hamitic nations were sacrificing their children for seasons and blessings and different things like that. We learned that custom, and we started doing it too. sacrificing your children to the fire so you can have wealth, so you can do other things. Guess how we still do that today? We go, they call it abortion today.
Bring it out.
We go and we sacrifice our children. Why? What do we say? Oh, I wasn't ready for a child. I had to go to college and get my life together.
Right.
So I killed my child. That's the same thing as sacrificing your child for wealth.
Right.
The same thing. God said don't do that thing. Don't make your kid pass through the fire. But guess what? Our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we lead in abortion. We got more abortions than any other nation combined.
Right.
Black people alone. That's passing through the fire. Read on from there, though.
Or that using divination or an observer of times.
So when you hear divinations, observer of times, that's like people casting spells. Observer of times is somebody like horoscopes. In your newspaper or in magazines or on the internet, they got horoscopes, zodiac signs. You got everybody walking around saying, oh, I'm a Cancer. Oh, that's why I'm in a bad mood because the sun's shining this way and my favorite color is this and I'm going around. That's witchcraft, bro. And they got you participating in it openly and thinking that it's okay, it's all good.
Right.
It's not. And we come out here and show you it and tell you to research it. And you know what our people say? Our people say, hey, I know, bro, but it's for the kids.
Break it out.
We don't do Halloween, we do Hallelujah night.
Bring it out.
Didn't God tell us to be separate from the world?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.